honestly, just knowing you as a human, I can't really picture you working for somebody else.
I need to do things my own way. I don't like rules. Oh, someone asked my ideal car, which is funny because I'm not a car person.
You lit up like a fucking Christmas tree when I asked her this earlier, though.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite podcast episode?
After this one, which is only because you're here, the January's bonus episode, the fucking cooking show. I love that episode.
I feel like you're not that big of a sweets person. Generally.
No, I am. But I control it.
Oh,
and yeah.
A dirty little secret.
Chocolate cake.
So how does one get to be as awesome as you are?
You can't be.
Nice try.
For people who, know my screen printing and they say, start printing again. I wish you would print again. It's not going to happen. I don't want to.
Stop asking.
That's it. Welcome to the Collaborative Resource Hub by Wellness Provisions. We're bridging the gap between mental health, wellness, and rock and roll. I'm Amy McBride, owner of Wellness Provisions, the most badass wellness business. Hey, are you feeling a little stuck in life? I offer wellness coaching sessions. Book a session with me if you're seeking to get healthy and ahead. Sessions are available worldwide. And check this out. Wellness Provisions supplies rock and rollers with high-quality supplements. We've simplified your shopping experience and given you a trustworthy place to go where you can essentially shop blindfolded. And did you know all our Collaborative Resource Hub interviews air on YouTube as well as all major podcast platforms? Subscribe to stay in the loop. Go immerse yourself in the full Collaborative Resource Hub experience over on our website. You'll have access to helpful resources that will inspire and educate you. So let's inspire each other. If that guy did it, so can you. Last but not least, my legal disclaimer. Nothing in this interview or the Collaborative Resource Hub substitutes medical advice. Please connect with your GP if you need medical guidance. Hey, welcome everybody to the April bonus podcast episode where I answer 20 questions. I just want to preface by saying that while this recording was entirely in my own hands, in my apartment, with my computer, everything was in my control. Somehow, because technology sucks, the recording quality looks like garbage and the audio, it gets glitchy. So I've done my best to edit it and make it as smooth as possible, but please just be prepared and keep in mind that it did not turn out 100% awesome like I wished it had. However, it's still super fun, and I think you guys are going to get a kick out of it. And if you don't, then you can just turn it off. Enjoy! Oh, hey there. Welcome to the April podcast, April bonus episode. That's going to be the tone for this interview. We're here to have fun. So you know me, but you don't know this one over here. Chelsea, do you want to introduce yourself after that introduction?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? I'm Chelsea. Hi.
What do you like to do? What do you do? What's your thing?
Mostly cooking, being awkward, taking supplements.
Yep, it's true. She buys them from me. So we are here to field 20 questions about me because April is my birthday month. Very few people know the actual day of my birthday, though. I like to keep people on their toes and then feeling like shit when they realize they missed my birthday.
I think it took me 3 years to know the actual date. I'm there now, though.
Yeah, and that's what calendars are for. Can't go wrong if you plug it into your calendar. Anyways, so you guys were awesome and submitted some really cool questions, and I'm going to answer them. I did see them, obviously, ahead of time because I've got eyeballs, but she organized them and pulled which ones to ask. So they're written on a piece of paper over here. So,
all right, let's get into it. So you've always been an entrepreneur. It's one of the first things that I learned about you. Like you've had businesses of your own since you were like still in your formative years. So what was the first business that you ever started?
Probably the first business was it was a restaurant in my kitchen in elementary school. That was probably the first one. So like I made menus and had like, proper like invoice, like receipts or whatever. It was really just like one of my neighbors that came over and their kids and stuff that supported my restaurant. But then the actual first real business was Pyromania, which that's the logo for that. It's not going to come across here, but I started that when I was 14 and it was screen printing shirts and patches and stuff, like punk stuff. And I started it because I filled a void that was missing back in the scene back then in like the 90s and probably before, obviously, which was shirts to fit small people.
Big facts.
Yeah, you couldn't find like size smalls.
I feel like we never really wanted the oversized t-shirt thing to be a trend. It was just kind of out of necessity because all you could find was like, these big ass shirts for dudes, basically.
Yeah. So I exclusively printed small, medium, and then youth large. I did not do any large or extra large. So that I started when I was 14 and ran it till I was like 20 or 21. When then I tried to just do like mass printing, like for like schools or, bands or whatever. And it didn't take off super well. And I shifted gears just completely and closed the business down.
It was pre-internet. So
it was early internet. And that was actually cool because it was like, just like bands, trying to promote their shows. It was almost easier old school back then than when everything was social media, because everything gets lost on social media. But back then it was like there were certain like forums that everyone would go to. And like I feel like people's interest was so much more concentrated in very specific areas. So it's fucking way easier to market to. Like I sold internationally really easily. Like it was just business did well, but you could only, make so much money doing it. Like, so next question.
Okay. So what was the age that you realized what you like really wanted to do, like your core passion?
That's always been fluctuating, I think. Entrepreneurship has always been in my blood, but then I've always tried different businesses. Like I did Salt Design. So like now I offer like web design and graphic design services still, but like I tried to have that be like a full sustainable business. But I guess the wellness thing, I mean, I've been into wellness for 20 years professionally, interest wise longer than that. So I don't know. I started on this idea in like 2019 after wanting to do like a food truck. It's entrepreneurship is the only consistent thing I've known.
Okay. So I feel like we kind of already dipped into like what shifted you toward having your own company versus working for someone else. Honestly, just knowing you as a human, I can't really picture you working for somebody else.
I like, I need to do things my own way. I don't like rules.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So what do you think is like the most challenging part about running your own business? But also like, it's a health business, health and wellness. So you kind of have to walk the walk also. So what are some of the challenges tied up in living and working like that?
Well, it's not, it's just who I am, right? So like the fucking like I call them like inspo videos, inspiration videos about, get sunlight in the morning and all of those. It's because I do that stuff. So it's just like all of like Wellness Provisions is just me. It's an extension of me. But running the business, what's hard is, having people actually spend money with you. It's a business. Podcasts, I make no money. Instagram, I don't make any money off, clicking hearts and things. So it's like it's getting people to want to actually realize like that they deserve to feel better and that feeling better is possible. Like wellness coaching is a fucking thing and it can really help. And like, so that's the biggest thing is like marketing and making people realize like, hey, like you don't have to buy your supplements on Amazon. You can buy them from me. Yep. That's the biggest frustration or struggle or whatever.
Yeah, it's all well and good to like have the conversations and everything, but you actually have to be doing it. You have to be taking your supplements. You have to be buying them from Amy, from Welly P. And when you're doing that, you're supporting a small business, a small, woman-owned business. You're helping her to progress as a business. Also, she can offer more, the more that
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the less things are supported, like the more I have to keep cutting back and put my energy elsewhere. And,
Yeah, there's a few products that I miss that you used to carry. And it's, just because I think I was the only one who was like,
yeah, it's like I can't keep stuff in stock that way.
Yeah. I'm assuming you have a self-care routine. I'm just curious, like, what does that look like? As like, do you have like some favorite health hacks or a favorite water or a snack or something like that? Like your kind of day to day taking care of you.
I do remember those questions because someone also asked what kind of water I like. So are you combining those questions? Okay, because I love that question. So my favorite water, I'm very excited to answer this one, is it's a Spanish water that you can that you can only get in Spain, or some imports in the US. The main one I know is out in San Diego. There's a shop in Pacific Beach. But anyways, it's called Vichy Catalan, and it's a sparkling water, and it's like one of the highest mineral waters, truly, that's out there and available. It's fucking medicinal because there's so many minerals in it, and it's really like, it feels weird in the mouth, and it's like super dry. And I always have had friends, like when I'm out in California and I get some, and I'm like, oh, you got to try this, and everyone's like, oh, whatever, it's water. And then they're like, oh, I don't like it because it's very different. And if anyone has seen the that Zac Efron show, Down to Earth, season 1, they have a whole water episode, and they go over different waters.
Oh, I think I saw that one where they're doing the tastings and stuff.
And the Vichy Catalan was one of those waters, and it was one of the ones with the highest mineral content. So
nice.
That water's awesome. But I can only get it when I'm out in San Diego now. What was the rest of the question?
Just like the rest of your general, your self-care, like how do you take care of you? What sort of little regimens do you follow?
I try to, I do successfully go to bed pretty early, but I try and like have like a window of when I go to bed and a window of when I wake up. Sometimes I am good about like, I wake up at 6:30 when I feed the cats, and then I exercise, cold shower, meditate. Like that's my perfect morning. But
the whole thing sounds like hell outside of feeding the cats. I could get into that.
Yeah. It's awesome though, because like I have a little mini trampoline in the fitness world. It's rebounding. You're not on a trampoline, it's rebounding. And so I do that, and then like weights and resistance bands and stuff. And then cold shower, meditate. I mean, like, because you feel amazing, like your whole day truly is better. But there's some mornings where I can't do it, which is also part of self-care, is having acceptance and forgiveness around the fact that some days you're not dialed in to do the fucking stuff, and like there's a fine line between pushing through and like, this is my routine, I am very strict with it and it's discipline. And then when it's just like my body's just not there and I need to sleep longer. So that wraps into self-care, knowing what's right for you.
So like, has it always just come natural to you to like do these things? Did you have to like really work yourself up to like take a, like maybe you start with one regimen, like kind of,
I mean, for me, I mean, I'm so like type A and just structured, and I mean, I'm an entrepreneur since elementary school. Like this stuff comes pretty natural to me, but still, like I don't like exercising, but I do it and I find ways to enjoy it more. And also changing the self-talk around it. In the past, I don't like exercising. Now it's all right.
I tolerate it. Yeah. It's great.
And also, like what I consume, I listen to like affirmation stuff, or like the solfeggio, whatever it's pronounced, like the Hertz frequency kind of stuff. I'll listen to that sometimes instead of like, we were just listening to Cox Bar and Generation X and stuff. So instead of music, I'll listen to that stuff sometimes if I feel like my anxiety is a little higher, or, the books I read, stuff like that. It's all tailored to just being better. So just the whole way I live my life is like a whole fucking self-care routine.
Well, damn.
Yeah. No big deal.
Okay, so just a little bit more about just personal stuff about you. I mean, not too personal, not yet. We'll get there. So you have we've noticed you have a tattoo or two.
I got a couple.
Just wondering if you might have a favorite and like if it has a special meaning or.
Yeah. You know, the most annoying tattoo question? How many do you have? Right?
Yeah, let me stop what I'm doing so I can count. Like, what
When I
difference does
had-
it matter anyway?
Yeah, I think if you have like 5 or less, that's a valid question.
Yeah,
but then
What do you do when you have like sleeves and like shit like that? Like, I've gone multiple sessions for the same tattoo. Do I count the amount of times that I sat in the fucking chair? Or
Yeah.
are we talking about like, because technically I guess I have one tattoo on my leg,
right.
but it's the whole leg. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's so stupid. My favorite tattoo. Most of my tattoos are memorials, honestly.
Chipper.
Yeah, good times. I don't know, I like them all. The rat is super cool.
Love the rat.
It was actually a print that my dad made in high school for like a art class, and he made like a block print. So I have like the physical copies, and they're like super old and like like discolored or whatever now, but that's what that is.
Totally love
I
that.
have my blood type, AB negative, right by my lovely veins that all the blood people are like, wow, there's such good veins. I'm like,
yeah, I've got some good,
yeah, good veins.
It's the best thing to get complimented on.
And this one is one of my favorites, from my guy up in Ohio, just the crow on a skull. And he had a gold tooth, but gold fades just like white. So skeletons are cool. I like them all. That's why I have them.
You're rather attached to them, would you say?
Oh yeah, and they're really attached to me too.
All right. So what type of stuff did you like to do when you were a little kid other than run restaurants out of your kitchen? And do you see yourself doing some of the same stuff when you get older? Like, do you think that, like, do you have hobbies with lifelong longevity or like?
I mean, as a kid, my brain was, like, I would wrap presents at holiday time and charge my family to wrap presents.
I did too.
I made pillows out of old t-shirts, and then like my mom took took a pillow to work and promoted it amongst her coworkers, and I got orders. This is like elementary, middle school stuff. So that's why like this business, it's like a hobby too, because it's just what I like doing. But arts and crafts, I guess, as a kid. And now drawing sometimes, like I draw, but I need like a purpose for it.
But still kind of anchored in the arts, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. And for people who, know my screen printing and they say, start printing again. I wish you would print again. It's not going to happen. I don't want to.
Stop asking.
That's it. Over.
Yeah.
Next question. Here's an advert in less than 50 seconds. Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Do you want to feel better in your mind and body? Then check out the wellness coaching that I offer. It's kind of like therapy. You can share what's on your mind, and then it's all about taking action. You'll learn new tools to help you heal and grow through what's tripping you up. We can focus on anything from physical health to mental health. Schedule a free 15-minute consult over on the website to learn more. And check out our Healthy Touring course. This self-guided online video course is for any level of musician. Whether you tour all the time or only sometimes, you'll learn a ton if your goal is to play better, feel better, and be better. With special appearances by members of Descendants, Teenage Bottle Rocket, The Last Gang, Lawrence Arms, and more. Head over to the website for all the details. Now, back to the interview.
Do you feel like you are kind of like where you want to be in life? And I don't, honestly, this question, I'm not sure where they're coming from, if they mean like professionally or personally, but I know with you, the two are kind of
interlinked.
Yeah.
There's always room for improvement. It's life. And like any goal you have, there's always a goal beyond that one. So no, I'm hungry and wanting more.
Yeah. Did she mention she was type A, like very goal oriented? I don't know if anybody's picked up on that yet, but I just wanted to pull that little nugget out.
Also, I want to be living in a house in the woods, not like a hermit per se, but I want a house with like lots of windows with lots of nature around me. So I'm not there yet, which means y'all need to be buying more supplements and wellness coaching so that I can live in that house. And then what happens when I live in that house is I feel more awesome. I keep producing even more awesome content. You guys get more inspiration, motivation, and happier and healthier. It's a whole ecosystem.
Big facts.
Yeah.
What's parked outside your cabin?
Oh, someone asked my ideal car, which is funny because I'm not a car person.
You lit up like a fucking Christmas tree when I asked her this earlier, though.
Yeah, because she was like, I'm not asking that. I'm like, no, you have to. All right, late 70s Ford Bronco. Fuck yes, I want one so bad.
That's half the enthusiasm, by the way, that she showed before. So that's her toning it down a little bit.
Because I knew about it. That's why.
All right, so name something that like everybody is like super pumped on and you just can't get it up for.
um
That's not exactly how they worded it, but
fuck. I don't know. It's a hard one.
I'd say most, like just from knowing you, I'd say most things. Our girl's not very trendy, which is, in my opinion, a very big compliment. You just kind of do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
That's actually how little she cares what everybody else is into.
That's probably true.
Zero fucks are given. So like she doesn't even know what y'all are into unless you tell her and share it with her. And it better be supplements. I'm just saying. But
yeah. I'm gonna just say this, even I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't, but whatever. This is
do it.
So, because also the way you phrased it, dick pics. Many thumbs down for me.
Send them to me. I love them.
Yeah, like I've got female friends who fucking love them and it's like a thing and everyone's like into it and dudes are into sending them. And I'm like, never send me one. I do not want them. I'm not into that at all. Just random.
Yeah, holler at your girl though.
Yeah, Conscious Cuisine on
oh no, don't send them to that
Instagram.
account. Fuck, I forgot that was tied to this.
Anyway, yeah, there's a little random factoid for you. No one thought that they would hear.
Yeah. That's a good one though.
These days it's important.
So is there anything that you're into though that might surprise us that doesn't seem like very typical you?
Well, sorry to hurt your feelings, but I'm not vegan. I mean, because a lot of people do, they think I'm vegetarian or vegan, and I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same. Like I do this, like I get it because when I was running Conscious Cuisine, just a little side note, I used to own a vegan personal chef business. I am vegan, but I did make healthy food for people, but I eat garbage. Love some processed food,
right? Yeah.
And everybody thinks that like, oh well, you must exercise all the time and
do
eat
yoga
really well, and you know, because you do yoga and I eat trash and look at dick pics. That's just, I don't know why everybody thinks I'm so wholesome and
right.
Like,
yeah. So that's one for me. I'm not vegan. I look health differently and for what works for my body, and so I get sustainable nutrients in other ways.
Yeah.
But what else?
That's why I take the supplements, because I'm like I'm not vegan for my health. I'm vegan for other reasons, but like I take supplements because you can't just open boxes and microwave shit and expect to live past 45. Already beat that, but whatever.
I got another one though. I'm pro 2A, so Second Amendment. I think guns are, I'm into them. I think that they're important, and that's something people might click off here right now and stop tuning in, because it's a thing and it's very touchy, but I'm very much pro Second Amendment. In fact, I think it should be like the Wild West. We should have more firearms than less, because if everyone's fucking carrying, you're much less likely to fucking pull a gun out in a crowd when like 8 out of 10 people around you are going to be carrying also. You're going to get fucking shot in the face. The last thing I'll say also is I remember seeing this years ago, and I think it's a really good analogy. Pencils don't misspell words, right? Guns don't kill, it's the people. And our system is beyond broken, but it's mental health care that needs to be addressed, not guns, not the magazine capacity, none of that stuff. It's fucking, we need hearts and souls taking care of people, but the guns are not the issue. Guns do great things in the right times.
Yeah, I'm kind of this, like, I don't know that we see completely eye to eye on that one, but it's like I'm pro gun. Nobody would like, like we said before, everybody thinks, you're like healthy, like tree hugging, like,
or whatever,
whatever. But like yeah, I basically just think that we should always have access to the means to overthrow the government, because fuck those fuckers.
And that's it too. And that's what, like, I mean, like, why do you want all of this gun control? Wow, we're going really on a hard tangent here, but why do you want all this gun control in the hands of the fucking government? I mean, to me, it's more punk rock.
They're professional at lying to us,
and
keeping us down.
Yeah, and like taking care of your own family, your own safety with self-defense, like that's way more fucking punk rock. So like the more responsible people with firearms, the better to, outweigh, unfortunately, the people with, mental health issues who do have them. And just like with like drugs, you fucking make drugs illegal. Oh, sorry, who's still doing a bunch of drugs? Like making things illegal. Yeah, it doesn't solve it, making it illegal. Whatever, it's a broken system. So if anyone has beef with that or wants to dive deeper into that, you know where to find me. Next question.
Or if you have an army tank that you want to gift Amy for her birthday.
Next to my Ford Bronco.
I back that.
Awesome.
I'm into it.
Thank you. Cool.
So what is your favorite quality to have in a friend, a partner, in a business contact?
In a friend, someone who's willing to be my co-host on the podcast. I like people who are themselves, who have integrity, who have fire in them and passion and creativity. In a partner, someone who fucking just owns their feelings and communicates, and we're all works in progress and giving each other, it's two-way street, the benefit of the doubt that we're doing our best and that we're trustworthy and worth trusting, and I don't know, stuff like that.
Don't be a mentally crippled pillowcase. Yeah, I can get down with that.
Cool.
So what's your favorite podcast episode, and why is it this one?
Oh, for my podcast? Well, after this one, which is only because you're here.
No pressure. Like, yeah.
It was January's bonus episode, the fucking cooking show. I love that episode, and I will light up every time I talk about it. And I mean, people who are watching, like, you've probably been personally recommended me telling you to watch it because it was the coolest thing I've ever done. So Matt from Toxins and Human Issue out of San Diego, he's a professional cook, and he'd been on the podcast before as, like a guest. And then we did had the idea of doing the cooking show, and I'd never filmed anything like that before. He'd never cooked on camera. He's just sort of awkward by nature, which is super cute and adorable. So it was a really good combination. And I had so much like fun with the challenge of editing it, and totally fucking different. And I loved it.
Yeah, I think that was the thing that stood out to me too, is that you're like coming, out of your usual framework a little bit, which was really fun. Switch it up a little bit. Plus, I mean, it involved food. So even when it's not the cuisine I'm into, it's still it's exciting to see people do what they do. And so like you'd mentioned Matt's band. Are there any other current favorites?
Well, yeah. So Toxins and Human Issue. And I really like, are you also going to ask me, because I did notice this question, favorite concerts or shows? I'm going to answer that with this right now.
Okay, yeah.
So seeing Human Issue, I saw them, I went up to DC months ago to see them. That they were awesome. So much energy. And the venue, they're playing at the Pie Shop in DC, and they had really good sound. So that was great. T. Hardy Morris, he used to be in Dead Confederate, and then he does like either solo acoustic stuff or just like him in a band, but T. Hardy Morris. And he's one of my favorite people to see live, just because like him and his full band, like good energy and like kind of like psyched out like rock and roll stuff, but like it's just trippy like when they play. Like it's just like they're great, and I love his music. And it's hard because most of the current bands I like are actually, well, not even all current, but like for a very long time, like many years, I was only listening to Spanish speaking music, because so like, yeah, I was in a relationship with a guy in Spain, and then I moved to Spain briefly, and teaching myself Spanish before that and all that. So music was like a huge way that like I was learning Spanish. So for many years I only listened to Spanish speaking music. And then like in the last like few years, I finally like figuring out who, what other bands there are that maybe speak English or are current bands and stuff. So, yeah.
So the Spanish water, the Spanish music, our girl's practically a foreigner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, who would you say like has been like a really big influence on your musical taste?
I'm going to go back to the very beginning, and my first boyfriend, like real boyfriend, when I was 15, we dated from when I was like 15 on and off to like 21. And so I got into punk when I was like 13 or 14, but it was like, pop punk stuff, or then like street punk. And then I met Danny, and he turned me on to 70s, like 77 punk and some UK 82 stuff. And I was like, wow. Changed my world. So and even like we got into like 60s garage stuff together, and like more 70s rock and roll. All of my music taste, aside from the Spanish speaking stuff, is really like because of Danny, pretty much.
I feel like that's like some of the best things that I've gotten from past relationships with people is just the music that I learned. And like, no matter how bad the relationship was, you can usually pull like, well, at least I listen to, the Melvins now, like.
Yeah, music or an animal. That was pretty much the only redeeming thing from like a past relationship half the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the occasional hoodie. But,
yeah.
Someone asked, why aren't you the lead singer of a punk band?
Oh yeah, because I can't fucking sing.
It's a good reason.
Yeah. My mom told me in elementary school, which she denies now, she said I was tone deaf. So zipper my mouth shut from then on out. Like I will not sing. I will sing in the car, like, or at home, like any normal person, but apparently I don't know. So I'm extremely self-conscious. But my boyfriend, fiance, whatever, the guy from Spain, I was singing some Spanish stuff just real quietly. And he was like, one, my accent is good. But two, he's like, that's good. You can sing. I don't believe him though. So I don't front a band because I don't fucking sing.
I always pictured like, because I don't know if I don't think you're quite the level of socially awkward that I am, but like if I ever fronted a band, I'd kind of do it Portishead style, where you just have your back to the audience the whole time, just kind of hover over the microphone, like don't anybody look at me or listen to me. I'm just gonna like get through this.
But yeah, I'd probably be fucking goofy on stage if I was though.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think you might be good. Like,
because like doing the podcast and this stuff, like I've like gotten way out of my shell. I used to be much more introverted, but like and like all the little videos that I do, like the supplement stuff, I fucking love just being stupid on camera.
Yeah. So like if you've been following her for a good amount of time,
you can see that
like her first videos, like she was just like out of her element.
So bad.
Yeah. But now you just like, it's very comfortable. It's very fluent. Even when you fuck up, you just kind of roll with it and, lean into it and get on with it. Like,
yeah,
it's been kind of fun watching you, progress. Thanks. As you go along. Not that I've been stalking you that much.
Well,
just a little bit. It's not that big of a fucking deal. So, okay, so we've dipped into your romantic life a little bit. What would you describe, like, would you even want to describe your track record with love and things of the romantic nature?
Well, let me think. I mean, yeah, I don't fucking care. I was in love with someone for, it ended up being like 14 years, and it was, not reciprocated properly. So there was that. And then what else? I was married, and then I got a divorce. I was engaged and then bailed on that. That was the Spanish guy. Um
I've known her for years, by the way, and I haven't gotten past Spanish guy yet, so I don't know, like, but
Chavi.
oh, there we go.
Chavi, yeah. But and also for him, he's from Catalonia, so to call him Spanish, it's on the fence there. So he's Catalan. But anyways, what else? Relationships, usually they're hard and they take a lot of work.
So I feel weird about asking this one, but somebody wanted to know if a fan of Welly P wants to know if you want to marry them.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Someone else has my heart. But who knows? I mean, maybe that'll go sideways, really sideways, totally blow up and crash and burn. And then maybe I would want to marry somebody. But also, I don't ever want to get married again. Marriage is fucking stupid. I never wanted to be married in the first place. And then I was just started thinking the whole, like, when society gets in your head and you're like, oh, I should get married. I should, this is the right person on paper. We look great.
Yep. I feel like you and I have talked personally about that before, about how sometimes relationships, you get into them because it's good on paper. And look how well those always turn out.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't work. I mean, for me, in my experience,
yeah, absolutely not. Love should be reckless and kind of stupid, to
a point. I mean, but there's also like, there's a balance between like recognizing what from your past is creating dysfunction in your current or future relationships. So how do you heal that and really work on that? But also like what trauma is actually something because I feel like some of it is, it's a preference, and not all of those preferences are really bad, even if they've come from some dysfunction. Because like, how many of us need to feel like the fucking chase thing, because, and also like I've been with people who like me so much and I'm like suffocated. So like there needs to be some element where, again, and maybe it's rooted in dysfunction, but
we get conditioned after a while, like, 14 years of chasing someone is it's exciting and
fucks with your head.
Yeah, like I feel like to an extent most of us have been there in one capacity or another, and it conditions you after a while. So then when someone is offering you what you always thought you wanted, like what are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah. But I know, like, I don't want someone who's gonna like give me everything all the time in my face. I need like distance and to feel like I'm chasing them. Or
you're also a very
independent person.
Yeah, you will never need anyone.
That's
so
right.
just know that, like, Amy doesn't need you. She might want you. She doesn't need you. She's never gonna need you. And I feel like most of at least the women in our friend groups and stuff, like, are about the same. It's just probably women in general are moving more toward that. Like, it's not the 50s anymore, fellas. Like, step it the fuck up. Like,
yeah.
We can get our own bank accounts and vote and shit, and just, we want you. We just don't need you.
Right.
Some of us don't want you. Sorry. Okay, so I didn't know if I was actually going to ask that. I mean, I guess you can cut it out if you don't want it. But if you could interview the worst toxically influential person in your life,
you asked this second question.
Okay, so if you could interview just the most toxic person in your entire life, and there'd be no consequences of the answers or asking the questions, like they're not going to think anything of you any kind of way afterwards, like what what would you ask?
Dude, I don't know. And I don't know who the person would be, because the one thing that came to mind when I saw you submit the question was I don't keep toxic people in my life, especially the last like several years. I make it a point, like I move on, and like
That's kind of the best answer though. Like, yeah, like get the fuck out. Like GTFO. If you can't, like,
yeah. So I don't know, and anyone who is, we'll use the broad stroke term toxic, I hope that they find healing within themselves, because if you're an asshole, there's something not balanced within yourself, and you're lacking like self-love and like connection with yourself. So like, I hope that you connect with yourself, but I don't want you in my life. So I didn't know how to answer that.
I think you did great.
Okay, thanks.
I think you totally answered it. Because that is like, but it's something that I have noticed also from you is that like you allow people to grow though. Like I've seen you do that. People who have not necessarily always done right by you. It's not like you're just instantly just like zip you out,
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Which I feel like is an important part of like, your own healing process.
Because even like the last guy that I was dating, he was a workaholic. And so I told him, I was like, dude, if you don't prioritize me, like I'm done. So he like made a bunch of changes and did really well for a while, and then it eked back the other way. And then I was like, all right, last call, like change or I'm out. And he didn't make any changes, none. So I was like, okay, bye.
See ya. Okay. So how does one get to be as awesome as you are?
Oh, that was a question.
That was a question.
You can't be.
Nice try. Okay. One that fucking boiled my blood when I read it.
Oh yeah, you said this.
Cause first fuck you and also fuck you. But why are you so gray?
Yeah. So when she came over here and we were kind of looking at the questions just a little bit, she mentioned that. And I was like, no. I was just like, time out, ask the question. We're going to get into it here. So I did one of the promo videos asking for people to submit questions. And I said, ask what's up with the art on the wall, or my hair. Why am I so gray? And so then a friend of Welly P and an actual friend, who's obsessed with my fucking hair. He loves it. He was the one that ended up submitting that question.
Okay. I didn't know if we were going to have to teach a science class about how like, after a certain age.
Yeah, but like my mom grades super early. I figured I would be farther along than I am at this age, because she was, by her like mid-30s, she was completely gray.
Yeah, I know a gal who at 23 completely gray.
See, and
she didn't rock it though.
She did not?
No, I think if she would have rocked it, it would have been badass. Look at all these like, okay, so it's kind of going out of fashion now, but like all these fucking like 19-year-olds with their silver hair and shit. Like,
I don't like it. And that
neither.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to earn that. Fuck you.
Yeah, you have not had enough stress. But like
not enough trips around the sun.
Yeah. But my friend that asked that question though, I tell him, I'm like, when the ratio is way more gray than my brown, which I mean, you guys, like there's a lot of gray. But I'm gonna dye it because I look young, and I think it's super weird looking when young people have like gray hair. And my friend was like, well, fuck what society thinks. I was like, no, it's not society, it's me, it's personal preference. Yeah, weird. It works for right now. We'll only get a few more years of this probably though.
Okay. Yeah, Amy doesn't really care what everybody else is doing. I don't know if anybody's picked up on that yet, but okay, so there's a couple more. I was actually kind of interested in this because I dig the food, and like I'm one of those weirdos that watches the mukbang, however you say it. The what? The videos of eating a ton of food. Like I don't know why I dig it, as long as it's not like gross. Like I saw one where somebody's eating just a giant bowl full of raw eggs. Oh. And it's not even a vegan thing. I've
It's
eaten
a
raw egg before. It
texture
tastes like
thing.
semen. It's fucking
Ew.
gross, dude. Don't do that. But okay, so you're getting ready to get the chair tomorrow.
What did I do?
Probably strangling me for stupid questions. Okay, so it's your last day on Earth. What are you eating? What's your last meal?
Last meal. Sushi, probably. Or like really good ramen, like traditional Japanese ramen. Or paneer, some Indian. I'm hungry.
I want all of those things now.
Yeah. Those didn't they specify like they want to know like everything, right?
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert.
Yeah,
they didn't say snack.
That's a lot, but we'll go with the entrees and then Vichy Catalan water, please and thank you. And a dessert. Oof.
I feel like you're not that big of a sweets person. Generally.
No, I am. But I control it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
yeah.
a dirty little secret.
Chocolate cake.
Oh fuck.
Jenny's ice cream. Oh, also fuck. Arepas for another entree. And then also these cookies that I have not had since I was 18, I think, when I was working at the first Whole Foods I was working at in the bakery department. There's a woman from Argentina and she made alfajores cookies, and those fucking things rule, and I haven't ever had them since, and I would like to eat those.
What are those?
And basically like little like a shortbread with like a the fucking like a caramel, what is it? Oh, am I drawing a blank? I want to say tres leches, but that's the cake. Whatever, like the sweetened condensed milk, like cream in the middle.
I think you can do a tres leches cream.
Something like that. But it's just like a sandwich cookie.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, they're good.
Fuck up some caramel and some shortbread.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got pretty much all of them, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done.
We got to know a little bit more about Amy.
Yeah. Cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And
if you didn't, fuck you.
That's it. Yeah. Who fucking cares? I had fun. Yeah. I'm surprised that the cats didn't show up. Cats of Welly P did not make an appearance.
Yeah, I was greeted with a warm and friendly hiss when I walked through the door. It's really surprising I'm not here.
Yeah, well, cool. Thank you guys for submitting your questions and for caring and for watching the podcast. If you don't already subscribe to it, please click subscribe on any possible platform, because here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about numbers. I really don't care. But when I'm trying to get good interviews from like big, larger people, often they care. They want to see that I have like some massive subscriber list or shit ton of followers.
And let's not forget, once again, she is running a business, y'all. Like, it's great. Like, she's awesome. She will fucking, like, she's given me massive amounts of health advice to the point where I should definitely subscribe to your health coaching. Really should. But also she's trying to make a living. She's trying to grow as a business. It'd be super dope if y'all could help her out with that. Like,
yeah,
supplements.
Because here's the thing, Wellness Provisions, why I love this business so much is it's a platform for me to reach people who want to feel better and be better. Like, if you don't have to follow. This isn't for you. But if you do, then it's like, I love that, because I love seeing people grow and heal themselves. And like, I just love it.
And you're hitting up a very unexpected demographic. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah.
No one ever really expects like all these like, touring bands and like hardcore rock and rollers to be like, yeah, I meditate, I do sound healing. I, fucking give a shit whether I wake up or not in the morning.
Yeah.
It's important to a lot of people, and you wouldn't really think that. And you like really, it's in your tagline, like you bridge the gap, and you 100% are doing that. And
yeah.
I think it's cool as fuck. And it's like making, the whole wellness movement, honestly, like more exciting and attractive
and approachable. And like, yeah. So I do this because I love helping people, and, but it's a business, which it's, involves making money. So, but yeah, the numbers for subscribing to things make a difference for me to continue to get like stronger and stronger guests and stuff. So anyway,
although if you look through her archives, like
true.
Fucking impressive already. Like, just, I mean, some of the people that like, I can't even imagine like just having a conversation with these people. Just look at what's on YouTube. Like,
yeah. So
the plugs.
Yeah. YouTube, every major podcast platform. And then just for a concise directory of everything, wellness-provisions.com. The fucking podcast, all the seasons are broken down there and you can see everybody. But yeah, I mean, season 1, I did an interview every single fucking week, which was a lot. And I got like Milo from the Descendants, who I've had Frank Turner, fucking Bill from Descendants, Russ from Good Riddance. We got Black from the Dwarves. I've had guys from Pennywise and Sick of It All and Agnostic Front. My God.
Yeah, it's been an extremely impressive lineup, and like the interviews are great. You're getting tips, straight from the wellness queen herself, as well as people who have implemented a lot of what you're, trying to teach people about.
Yep. And they share all their stuff. So it's awesome. So watch some old interviews because they're timeless, and have a wonderful rest of your day or night, whatever it is. Bye.